the opinion is if a man tells you his type is a blonde, it's a red flag. And I've like had so many friends with different hair colors, and they've said every time they've been blonde, they get the most male attention, but the worst male attention in like from relationships to like just being catcalled on the street. So basically, I'm looking for someone whose type is a brunette, but sees through my hair color.
Hello and welcome back to Single Sounds, the only podcast that helps you find a date. My name is Katie Mack and I am the host and creator of this dating podcast. And how is everyone feeling? Are we feeling Christmassy yet? Winter Wonderland opened in London this weekend just gone, and to me that is basically the start of Christmas. Fun fact about me is I am a big sucker for all things tacky. So expect to see me there, and I love it as a date idea. There are some really classy bars and specific spots in Winter Wonderland if you know where to look, with open fires and cute Christmassy cocktails, mulled wine, cute rugs, the lot. So slide into my DMs if you want recs to those for your next date night. If you've just joined us today, let me catch you up on where we are on the schedule of Single Sounds for the rest of the year. So this is the last regular guest. By that, I mean someone that you can write in to date, and the last of the Northern November series before we move into our Experts How-To series, which is for the whole of December. Starting with a lovely podcast host I did interview in Manchester, so it's a slight overlap. Nice transition. And you'll hear in this episode, he gave us quite a spook mid-interview. This week's guest has the potential to literally ruin a whole season for you. Yep, someone once told her that dated her that they can't experience autumn without thinking about her. And I have to say, we did share quite a spooky moment together, so maybe I will always think about her around this time of year too. She is looking for someone who can see through her blonde hair colour and potentially a cheerleader to support her in all her crazy habits of signing up to unbelievably long races. Hello, welcome to Single Sounds.
Hello.
You're like, hi.
I know. I'm like, God, what do I do? How do I sit?
In Manchester. It's so exciting for me just to be in a new place. Let's start with your profile.
Okay.
Who, what, where. So first question is, who are you sexually attracted to?
Men.
Nice.
Is it?
Is it though? Is it? Yeah, it's true. Lots of people say unfortunately.
I was about to. I stopped myself.
Yeah. No, it's always a thing of like, should I? Oh no, I'll leave them.
I know. I
leave them alone for 2 seconds. And what are you looking for?
Anything, as long as it's honest. I think.
Okay, that's a good answer.
The best way to say it. I'm not dead set on finding my husband, but if you're out there,
that would be great.
I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just anything that's honest. Yeah, it's the best way.
Yeah, just someone to be really upfront.
Yeah, and like, if you just want to have some fun and then never speak to me again, that's completely fine. Just let me know.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. That is just all you want.
Yeah, because I think it's really hard to kind of say before you meet someone, you know, you might get on really well, but you don't see it going anywhere, but you still want to spend time with them.
Agreed. And like, there's not an easy way to say that, like, without it being really rude.
Yeah, just like, not to offend you, but yeah. But yeah, I think, I don't know. It would be nice to have, like, especially now it's coming into autumn, winter, like, actually someone, but I've kind of given up on finding the right guy. Yeah.
I just think someone that is nice to spend time with, that doesn't feel like a big ask, but somehow it seems hard to find.
Oh my God, it's like the hardest thing. It's such a huge ask. I feel like too many people just pretend to be something they're not.
Do you have any like height, age preferences?
The taller the better, because I'm pretty tall for a girl. Yeah. But also all my friends are like 5 foot, so sometimes I feel like a giant and I'm actually not, and I need to remember that.
What are you like? I think you're similar to me when you're like 5'8", something like that. 5'7".
Yeah, just under 5'8", I think. Yeah. I actually don't know, because I basically never measured myself, and I went off the height of my first boyfriend, and we were the same height. And he told me he was 5'11", So for like 2 years, I thought I was
Classic.
5'11". Yeah, it was awful. And then throughout our relationship, slowly, he was like, he'd mention it and be like, I'm 5'9", 5'8" and a
You
half.
just like bring it down a notch. Like, oh, that's so embarrassing.
Yeah, it was awful.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves is when men lie about their height, especially for girls that are our height. I can tell if you're 6 foot or not.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's not actually that far away. When I wear heels, I can be 6 foot. Like
Literally, it's, oh God, especially on dating apps. I feel like the height 6 foot and 6'2" doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, 6'2" is what they love that because they're like, oh no, I'm definitely over it. And they're probably like barely 6 foot.
They're like 5'11" with shoes on
Yeah.
and like tall hair.
Yeah. Okay, and where would you like to date?
I'm actually really not that fussed. I'm basically like, if someone just kind of takes the lead, I'll go along with it. Whether they say, let's go do something chill in Leeds or let's go on holiday. I'm like, cool,
Yeah,
let's do it.
Cool.
Genuinely, I'm in that phase of life where I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Let's start with acceptance section. So this is, are they going to be accepting of your flaws and your quirks? First question is, what would your therapist say about you?
Probably a long list of things, which we probably shouldn't share on here, but I think they would say, I need to stop using exercise and signing up for races as a coping mechanism.
Nice.
And the reason I say that,
Like really long races.
like I'm doing an 100k ultra next summer.
Oh my goodness.
I've never even ran a marathon so far.
Okay.
So
Good.
literally this year, like when I get stressed, I'm like, I need to fill up my time with something that's
It's
not
healthy.
Well, is
I
it?
think, yeah.
Mm.
There's maybe a limit. 100k maybe.
I think in my mind it keeps me so busy that if I am having a bad day, well, I've got to go run 60 kilometers, so I have to ignore my problems. So yeah, that definitely that, and it keeps me way too busy. So
But it's such a long time.
Yeah.
Like, you'll be running for hours.
literally, like my whole
How do you
Sunday.
fit that in?
I have 2 jobs as well, so my therapist would say stop making yourself so busy and have a life.
Maybe run a little bit less distance.
Just like
Just
take a
5K,
chill.
half an hour.
Yeah, and I'm not a runner, so I don't like it. I hate it.
Okay. Interesting.
I know. So I force myself to. Yeah, it's definitely says a lot about me, I think. Forcing myself to be places I don't want to be and do things I don't want to do could be a good thing.
Yeah, I think it's good to like test your boundaries in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be a bad thing. I don't know.
I mean, you'll feel really great when you run the 100k, I reckon.
I hope so. Although the one I signed up for, someone said it's all uphill. So
They couldn't pick a bit of flat, no?
I know, a nice
'Cause
downhill.
it's not hard enough. Yeah. What?
Yeah. So it's a weird coping mechanism to have. It's a new one over the last year. I think it used to be not so good. So yeah, that's probably what they would say.
Yeah, that makes sense. Where's the race? Is it near here?
It starts in Oxford.
Oh, okay.
To be honest, I've not looked at the route. I don't know where it finishes. 100k away from
Yeah.
Oxford, somewhere far.
Is it maybe a big loop?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it must be a loop.
it must. Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no idea. I think it probably is, but I think it better not be like a down and back up the same thing.
Yeah, that was what I was actually just a little bit worried about for you. I was like, I hope it's not just you run around the same loop 3 times.
No, it definitely isn't, only because they have little aid stations where you're supposed to have friends and family to help you.
Yeah.
I have my mum, but no one else. So if nothing else comes of this podcast, maybe I can just assemble a team to help me run 100k.
We'll come to Oxford, yeah.
That's actually what I'm looking for. I lied in the beginning. I don't want to date. I just want a race team.
That's so cute. I just need a support for my race.
Yeah, please. Hold up a sign for me.
Oh, yeah. I'll come.
Oh, thank you.
Wait, it said next summer?
Yeah.
Ages away.
Yeah, it's next July. We've got time.
Yeah. We'll find a whole squad.
People crazy enough to help me, yeah.
Yeah. I would imagine lots of other people doing that race would also have people to support. I feel like it would just be a nice atmosphere. When I've watched friends in halves and full marathons, they are really good because everyone just kind of cheers everyone.
Yeah, it's so nice. I did Cardiff half marathon last weekend.
Oh gosh.
And my mum was there, but she was far away somewhere. But everyone, because my name's I shouldn't have said that.
I know.
Because of my name, It's Welsh, so there were loads of signs with my name on it.
Oh, cute. So you were like, that's for me.
I was like, it's for me, but it's not. So that was cute.
That is nice, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think I'd be like, yeah, it's so my name. It's the benefit of having a common name. I feel like mine could be written in many places, and I'd be like, it's for me.
It's for me.
Did you have your name like on your bib? Like,
No.
Not bib. You know what you mean?
Yeah. Because everyone says you should, so people can shout for you.
Both that I've done, everyone wrote them, and when they were really clear, like people did shout like, go John, or whatever your name was.
Yeah, I actually didn't, and I regret it, but because normally it's on your race number.
Yeah, that's what I meant, instead of bib.
But yeah, same thing.
Just like wearing some like,
just like
weird
a little
tie. Yeah,
I could have done with one like it's not well, but no, I didn't have my name on it, so just kind of.
Next time though, now you know.
Yeah,
write it in like really big, thick black,
huge letters.
Yeah, because then also the ones I've gone to, they have people on like tannoids, like randomly shouting, and then they can pick you up as well.
Yeah, I was wearing a hair grip with like Barbie on it. So a few like people, especially some of the little kids, shouted "Go Barbie," which was cute.
That's nice.
Yeah, it made me really happy.
Yeah, I always think that's the good thing about the people that do it in fancy dress. Not that I do it because it looks like hell, but they do get so many like shout outs. They're like, "Go Scooby Doo," or like whatever you're in. And I always think like, oh, they get the most support.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Maybe I should maybe I'll run the marathon or something in like full Barbie. Like
you could. Yeah. I feel like you could still make it comfy, but obviously Barbie, if that makes sense. You could get like pink running shorts, pink trainers. Just go like full.
Just need to find a Ken to come with me.
Next question is, what is your most controversial opinion?
Okay, so I don't actually know if this is controversial. It definitely is amongst guys, because when I've said it to them before, they're like, what are you on about? But the opinion is, if a man tells you his type is a blonde, it's a red flag.
Yes, I would agree.
Even though I'm
blonde.
Yeah, like I think it's the biggest red flag in the world. And I've like had so many friends with different hair colors, and they've said every time they've been blonde, they get the most male attention, but the worst male attention in like from relationships to like just being catcalled on the street. So basically, I'm looking for someone whose type is a brunette but sees through my hair color.
They're just not infatuated by the blonde.
Yeah, but guys always tell me I'm wrong. Probably because
it's like saying it's not a thing.
They're like, oh well, if that wasn't my type, I wouldn't have picked you, kind of thing. But I think it's a bad sign.
Yeah, I just think picking someone on their hair color is not very, there's not a lot of substance behind that, is there?
No,
like,
there's really not. But I think guys really do, like, if they're not attracted to that hair color, it's like they don't see you. Like they just look past you. I could be majorly stereotyping, but in my experience...
No, this is the thing. It's like, it's your opinion from what you've seen.
Yeah. And then the golden rule to that is, it doesn't matter what a guy's type is. If there's an attractive ginger, then she takes the win.
That's funny. That's funny.
It's so true.
Ginger wins.
Oh, always.
Yeah.
Always. It's like a shout out for all my ginger friends. They're all stunning as well.
I've got one really good friend who's, I never know how to describe her hair. It's like auburn. It's just the most beautiful ginger. Like it's almost like red. And it's fully natural. Mm-hmm. Oh, don't know. Her skin's just like so good. Her hair's just so good. And I'm always like, she's single, and I always tell her I don't know how.
Oh my God.
Like, she's just, to me, like, so stunning.
That's always
like
what
colouring.
I think. Yeah, always. Honestly, my hairdresser, the last time I went, we kind of had a bit of a chat, and he said, if you're not in some sort of stable or like happy thing, whether it's a relationship or not, by the next time I see you, we're dyeing your hair brunette. Like, the blonde's gone.
The blonde's gone.
Even though he loves it, he's his favourite thing to do.
He was like, we'll find you a better man if we just change your hair colour.
Yeah, literally.
It's so interesting.
Yeah, I might do the experiment, just like a social experiment to see.
Yeah, honestly, I'm sure, you know what, I'm sure there's TikToks about that. I'm sure people have had a go.
Yeah, probably. Maybe I should though. And like I can like proper like keep a tally of like the dates and how they went. Yeah, definitely. I don't know what it is, but I think it's true.
It's interesting. I just feel like maybe the people that I've gone for me have never actually told me that their type is blonde, even though it probably is. I feel like it's not come up. I think maybe the red flag is when they tell you like, oh, I only go for blondes.
Yeah.
And then you're like, interesting.
Yeah, like, okay. Do you know that most of us aren't real blondes?
Yeah, this is so true. It's like we're like dirty blonde at best.
Yeah, literally, I'm like clinging on to my hair color from when I was about 4.
Yeah,
like, paying for it now, which is awful.
This is the thing. I think we were tricked because I was like bright blonde when I was really young, and then you get older and mine got really quite dark, and I was like, oh, hate this.
Yeah, same. It's just like a muddy nothingness.
Yeah.
But then the thing is the guys that do tell me their types are blonde, when I then tell them that, because I have no shame and I'll say anything, they immediately are like, oh, well, I'll probably end up with a brunette. I'm like, right, well, what are we doing here then?
It's like they're always almost admitting that they think that the brunettes are like better wifey material or something.
Well, there is that awful saying, I don't know if you've like heard anyone say it, about what you do to a blonde but you wife a brunette. Like,
I've never heard of that.
It's awful. I'm not going to say it.
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm going to pretend it doesn't exist.
I'm just never going to hear that. Maybe I've heard it and I've just blanked it out.
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, I think when people have said it, I've blocked it out. But when it's written on like dating app conversations, you can just it's like burnt into the brain.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
I just don't know what gives men the audacity.
Oh, God. If I had the audacity of like a straight white man, I'd
You'd
conquer the world.
Yeah. It's so true.
Yeah. Oh God. Maybe not all of them, but definitely some of the ones on dating apps.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you use them or?
I'm not at the moment. I haven't for a while. And I said to myself, when it gets to October, I'll think about it. And you know what? I just have no desire to download them.
Honestly, I only have one because one of them I just think is awful. And then
I know that one. Yeah. We can call them out. Tinder.
No, even saying it makes me feel like
dirty.
Yeah. Oh no. Grim. But then I actually got banned from Hinge.
Really?
But it wasn't.
Is that because someone reported you? Because I've heard that before.
Someone, like people that know me, reported me because they
didn't want you to date.
Yeah.
I've heard that. It's really shit. And they don't do good investigations around it. Because it happened to like one of my other friends. She just had like a really toxic person just like go for her. Mm-hmm. And then they got all their friends to also report as soon as they saw it.
Yeah.
And it's like, how bitter and like,
I know.
It's actually fucked up.
It was so bad.
So controlling as well because like you said, like now you can't use the app. Like, it does work.
Sometimes I think when that happened though, I was like, oh, it's a blessing in disguise. And I literally deleted all of them and didn't use them for months and months. And then I really randomly decided to use Bumble, like just because I was bored.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just going to have a swipe. And I was in a different city. And that was actually quite a good idea.
Yeah.
I'd recommend that. Just go to a different city and start swiping.
Yeah, I've heard this.
Yeah.
One of my friends is traveling at the moment and she, like before she moves on to a new place, she drops her location somewhere else and starts chatting to people like the days before. So then when she arrives, she has like dates lined up.
That's
and I was like,
such a good idea.
How clever. I know. And it is Hinge, the one she's using actually abroad. So she's like, true. I'm actually just meeting like loads of Americans and Brits like abroad and just dating them. Because I said like, isn't that a bit dangerous?
Yeah.
She was like, no, literally the only people on it are other travellers.
That's so true. Me and my friend went to Ibiza recently. I didn't have it at that time, but we downloaded it. She's in a relationship just to see if we could like match with any bartenders. And we were quite successful.
To get free drinks. I love it.
Yeah, because I was like, we were just on a girls' trip and I was like, I'm not interested in finding men. So I was like, I don't want to have to flirt with men in clubs and things. So I was just like, let's just do it this way and see what happens.
Yeah, and it worked.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
That's quite good.
Yeah.
How did we get onto this?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Oh no, yeah, we just took the blonde thing.
Oh yeah.
Saying, this is the reason why I just can't face getting them yet because I'm just not ready mentally for that. Like the line that you didn't say, if someone said that to me, I'd just be like, delete. Do you know what I mean? Like I can't be bothered for the energy.
Just like sparingly.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it gets depressing.
Yeah.
And I think Bumble's a bit better because you can invite like the tone of the conversation.
Agreed.
But even
you're
then,
in control of it a little bit more.
Yeah, people just ignore it for sure. Some people don't know, which is kind of nice, but it's weird. The whole concept to me is weird. I'm like, where's my Prince Charming, like from like an old English lit romantic novel where you just like meet in the street.
And he's so polite and would never dream of judging you by your hair colour.
Yeah. Although, to be honest, anyone I've ever met like in person, I feel like that's when it goes wrong because I think you get a bit wrapped up in the romance of it.
100%. I've said this a million times.
Yeah.
I am the biggest problem for this. Our next section is adventure. And the question is, what is your worst dating story?
So people ask me this all the time. Like, I think it's really popular on first dates to be like, have you ever had any bad dates?
I like asking it.
Yeah.
I mean, I like asking it on this podcast. It's my favourite bit, but...
Honestly, my answer was always, I've not really, like, they've always been fine. And then when I saw, like, the questions and stuff, it literally unlocked. So, like, I genuinely think I had put like, a mental lockbox. Like, it's awful. It's basically, like, the first date turned into months of, like, stalking, kind of. No. But it was, I went home, I was at uni at the time, and I went home for Easter, and I met this guy in a bar. And I must have been like 18 at the time, and he was pushing 30. So like, that's a red flag in itself.
Massive, but yeah, sure.
It does.
But you're 18 at the same time. Like, you don't know much better. Yeah,
and it does happen quite a lot. Even now, I think when I meet people out, they think I'm maybe like 5-6 years older than I am. But still, I told him how old I was. So
I see. Yeah. So he thought you were like 25 probably, or something like that.
Like initially, yeah. Obviously, I told him. I wasn't like pretending. But we went on a date, and it was okay, but when people start saying stuff that you're like, okay, where's this going? And it started off with he lives with his parents. I was like, okay, these things happen. And then it was because he'd had a really bad relationship, and he started talking about this girl. And long story short, the girl never existed. He'd never been in a relationship. He'd never slept with anyone. And he like latched onto me, and I told him this whole time, I'm only home for a month. Like, I'm happy to just like go out a little bit, have some fun. But then I'm going back to uni. And I'd also told him I was kind of seeing someone at my uni, but it was quite casual. I went back to uni. I tried to cut ties. I never told him which uni I went to, because there's like 4 in my city. I didn't tell him where I lived. And I came out of my accommodation one day, and he was stood there with like a card and stuff saying happy birthday, because it was my birthday. But also, I didn't tell him when my birthday was. I didn't have him on like Facebook or anything.
How did he get this information?
I have no idea. Like, to this day, I still don't know. But really luckily for me, I lived in like a tower block, and there was one opposite, and the one opposite had a reception with a security guard, and you were supposed to sign guests in and out. Obviously no one ever did.
Whoa. Made me jump out my skin. Hello.
I was like,
we were mid story, and I was like, "It's a spooky story. It's about a stalker."
Oh my god! I was like, "Oh my god, he's found me!"
I thought the stalker had found.
All these years later, like 6 years later.
I actually might have to leave that in the recording, because that's the funniest thing. Now you can finish the story.
Oh my god, that timing.
Any other point it would have been fine, but
I know.
Because we were talking about how we didn't know how he got her like information of like where she lived and stuff. I was like, oh my god, the stalker's found us.
I know. I saw the tattoo and was like, oh, thank god.
We're safe.
Okay, you were just saying that. Oh, you had to sign guests in.
Yeah, and obviously no one ever did, because, like, you know, don't want people to know your business. Like,
no, don't want the reception knowing.
Yeah, like, this is a one night stand. Like, come up with me. Like, no. And I like went to sign. I told him, I was like, oh, I just have to sign you in, because I didn't know what to do. I was like, I can't just tell him to go away, because I'd already told him on the phone, like, I don't want to see you anymore.
Yeah.
Before I left. And I literally got the guest book off the receptionist, and I wrote in it, I think this guy's stalking me, like, help. Because I didn't know what to do, and I felt really on edge. And she got the security guard, and he just like escorted him to his car, and the guy like started tearing up, and he was like, I thought we had a real connection. And like, he did get in his car and just drive home, but it was bizarre. And then obviously it came with a bunch of messages afterwards. I just blocked, and I felt really bad, but I was like, no, I'm not dealing with this.
Because I think you did the complete right thing, otherwise he was gonna keep coming back and finding you.
But it was like, that was after one date.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. So probably the worst.
Totally the worst. Yeah.
Definitely blocked it out.
And you never saw him again, though? He actually did leave you alone?
So he created a couple of like phishing accounts on various Instagrams, and he was not for me. It turned out he was on the guy that I was seeing, who I ended up in a relationship with him for a while. He was like keeping tabs on him on social media. but it was fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's good. I'm glad.
Just a good story.
Oh, what a journey! I felt like I was so engrossed. I thought we were gonna get found by this man.
I know. Now I feel I'm gonna be on edge now forever. Like, is he actually still following me?
No, literally, I was like, he's here. He's done it. I was like, what have you done? You brought some stalker into our lives. Not as your fault.
It probably would be. I've made some bad choices in my time.
What is the award you should be nominated for?
This actually feels like such an interview answer when I say this.
Okay.
But bouncing back from everything and anything, like ask any of my friends and they will just say she's one of the unluckiest people we've ever met, but she just keeps on going. And in like every sense. I don't want to get too deep. But literally people used to joke at school like, you basically have black cat energy. Like, I don't know how you're so unlucky. So some really... I mean, like that stalking thing. Who does that happen to?
Yeah.
But I literally just brushed it off and went on a date the next day with someone else. I was like, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
And even like jobs, like just I've had the worst experiences. And to be fair, this year I've made this the year of change.
Nice.
Like my luck, I said my luck was going to change, and it has.
Yeah, I think you can manifest that. It's like lucky girl syndrome. It's a whole thing.
Oh my god, 100%. There's that song on Instagram, I don't know if you've heard it, like the lucky girl syndrome song.
Oh yeah, that you're meant to like play.
I've actually like played it like every morning for so long, because I'm like, it's not gonna hurt. Like,
yeah, I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah, and I feel like it's working. Although I say that, I've definitely, my luck in like dating's not changed, so still bouncing
I feel
back
like
from
that's
that.
for like a lot of people though. That's just a societal thing.
Yeah, it's always the same thing though. It's always like I never get ghosted. It's always like, I'd like to keep you around because you're a really nice person, but I found someone who I kind of prefer, but you're a good person, so like, can I keep you there?
Yeah, as a backup.
Yeah,
that's really shit.
I'm not an option, just so everyone knows.
Yeah,
I'm not a second choice.
I've heard people be like, oh, I'm always the person that they date before they meet their next fiance. That really sucks too.
Yeah, I saw such a sad quote, which probably don't want to bring the tone down, but it was like I'm someone that everyone likes but never loves the whole way through, and I was
no, that's bad
too
energy.
deep.
No, that's just lies.
Yeah, it definitely is.
You've just not met the right person.
Yeah, I think that's exciting though, like waiting to meet the right person.
I think it's so exciting that like you could literally meet them today, like tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just don't know. And I actually think that's like the thing to focus on, and that keeps you positive and hopeful. Yeah. It's just like you meet new people every day. You just don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you know, when you're on the train or like maybe on the tube or something and you see that really attractive person, you have eye contact, just walk up and say hello and they could be the love of your life.
Yeah.
Rather than like letting it pass by, which I always do. Yeah, I never speak to people in public.
No, I can't say I've ever. I don't know where people are seeing these attractive people on the tube. Like, loads of people tell me they see their husband on the tube, and I'm like, I just see like really sweaty, gross people. Like,
do you know what it is? I think if I see a man in a suit commuting, he could be really ugly, but he looks attractive in that setting.
At the time, yeah, he looks good. Okay. Let's move on to affection section. What is your biggest ick?
Okay, there is quite a few, but I think this is probably one I've had an experience of a lot of times. And it's when a guy refers to himself as a boy, but with like an adjective. So the best example I've got is, it makes my whole body cringe even thinking about it. I really struggle to say it. I feel like I'm outing him, but no one knows who he is. My ex. And this is how I know it's an ick, because I was like madly in love with him, and it even made me cringe a little bit in the relationship. He would like wipe his hand across like a surface, and if it was a bit dirty or dusty, he'd like look at his hand and be like, oh, I'm a dusty boy. Oh.
That is awful.
I can't cope. Someone I dated recently, they like had a really hard gym workout, and it's when they're men, like they're not boys, and he was like, I'm such a sore boy. No, I can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
I've not heard that very much, but that definitely is a good ick.
It makes me feel physically sick. But it's fine if like women do it. Like, call yourself a girl. I think it's cute. But
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know when I've ever like, oh, she's a sweaty girl. I don't know. Like after the gym. That's what I was thinking. I don't know.
Yeah, the dusty boy one, or like tired boy.
So
no,
icky.
It just makes me feel like I don't know, like you need to be mothered, and like It's just not the vibe I want. But that is closely followed by if a man walks into a coffee shop and orders a gingerbread man. Can't. It's an ick.
Ginger, as in the biscuit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like a gingerbread latte. Or that would still maybe be an ick if it was coupled with the gingerbread.
Oh my God, yeah.
Too much.
Just too much in one go. Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, I kind of get it. It's
Yeah.
like, it's like a child's kind of snack.
But then I think that one, like, if I was really into you and you did that, I'd probably think it was cute.
Cute,
But
yeah.
I think that's probably how my husband's going to know he's my husband, is if he calls himself a something boy and I'm like, oh.
And if you can eat gingerbread men without you cringing.
Yeah, then, you know you're the one.
I like how specific they are, though. They're good icks. Like,
yeah, there's
so many people give me like turn-offs, not icks, and those are good. Like the gingerbread ones really making me
They
laugh.
feel really harsh, but it just...
Has someone done that to you then? Is that where it came from?
The gingerbread one, it wasn't actually like a person I knew. There was a guy in front of me in Cafe Nero, and he was in a suit, and like, when you think, oh, you're quite attractive. And he just ordered an Americano, and then I heard him order a gingerbread man. And I kind of looked around to see if he had kids with him, and he didn't. And instantly I was just like, the glass is shattered. Like, you're not attractive anymore at all.
It's like looking for the kids, like, oh, they're not here.
Yeah, because the kids would have been cute.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to play your bestie rec.
If you want to date my bestie, then ideally you will not be a toxic man with a mustache, but you will have a love for fitness, eating pickles from the jar, and a strong desire to dress up in couples' fancy dress costumes. The way to her heart is through a can of Pink Monster, and if you break her heart, an autumn will never pass by again without you reminiscing of the one that got away. She's pumpkin spice and all things nice, probably the sweetest, most caring person you'll ever meet. She'll even do your meal prep for you for the week if you play your cards right. However, a word of caution, you will have to put up with her very healthy coping mechanism of signing up to marathons and fitness challenges to suppress her emotions. No, seriously, last year she ran 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. That was not fun for me. I lived with her. So if you're ready to sing Taylor Swift at the top of your lungs, then my friend has got blank space and she will write your name, baby.
Oh, that's super cute.
That's so accurate. Oh my God, yeah, the 4:48. I mean, I didn't cry. I definitely was a bit unhinged, but I think I blocked it out. So
the 4 hour thing.
Yeah.
So when did you sleep? Like,
I did, and
just napped after for a little bit.
I think I had like a 20-minute sleep at one point between like the midnight and the 4 a.m. run.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Sounds awful.
I know.
It's like torture.
When we moved in together, I mentioned it, and I think there was like immediate panic of, what is wrong with this girl? Is she going to have a breakdown? But
yeah, literally, it does sound a little bit mentally B energy.
Yeah, it was. But it was for charity. That's my justification. It's a charity, and we raised a lot of money for Mind. But
that's really nice.
It was, yeah. But oh, that's so cute. The pickles, literally, they follow me everywhere. My old flatmate bought me a pickle Christmas tree decoration.
Oh, because you like them so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite an unusual thing to like, but I rate it. Is it like your favourite food?
It's just like my go-to snack. Like,
it's so funny. Just out of the jar.
Yeah, but do you know what? It almost did give me a breakdown once, because I've never had a problem opening a jar of pickles. And then when I broke up with my ex and I was between flatmates living on my own, is the one time I couldn't get it open.
That must have been really sad, actually. And you just felt like a bit on
I
your
did
own.
cry.
Yeah. Well, I had a moment, like, I've been living by myself now after my breakup, and you forget that I have various items of clothing that you just can't get on yourself.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get this dress on for this like ball, like awards event, and I just couldn't do it up. And I literally just cried because I was so silly now. I reflect, but I was just sobbing in this dress because I was like, why is there no one to help me?
Oh no.
And my cat was just looking at me like, are you okay?
I mean, at least you probably look really stunning in the dress. At least you were doing that. I was just sobbing into a jar of like vinegary cucumber, like.
But it's funny how like just those really small things that like all of a sudden you're like, oh, I could really do with someone else to be here and help, makes you think, oh shit.
I know. I like to think
alone.
I'm quite self-sufficient. The only thing is when it comes to my car, like, no. And get me a man, please. As stereotypical as that is. And my car's like setting on fire all the time, being crashed into. Yeah.
It doesn't sound good.
Get me a mechanic.
Yeah. Or a new car, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, let's wrap up with your short summary.
Yeah, I feel like the best way to describe me is the most basic white girl that's absolutely not basic at all. That's the only way I can describe it. I don't know.
So confusing.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Just
pink
complex.
monster, that was not basic. That's not your pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, it's like I will go to Starbucks, listen to Taylor Swift, drink pumpkin spice, and then go absolutely feral in the gym and like not speak to anyone. I don't know. It's like very conflicting personalities.
Yeah. You like
maybe
flicking and out of being basic.
Bipolar is maybe the way to describe me, but yeah.
No. Okay, awesome. Thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you. It's been fun.
Good. I'm glad you had fun. So, if you would like to date this pink monster drinking, ultra marathon running, not so basic girl, all you have to do is contact the podcast on Instagram at Single Sounds or via the email to get her details and arrange the date. Hope you enjoyed this mini-series of hearing singles from the north, and let me know if you want me to come and host in a city near you. Slide into the DMs and we can try and arrange it. But for now, in the new year, we will move back to the OG London singles in January, starting with someone very special. No spoilers. If you know, you know. I've not been very good at keeping that a secret. So thanks so much for listening, and I'm excited to share next week's episode with you for a new type of content for Single Sounds, but I know you'll absolutely love it and hopefully learn quite a lot. Have a great week, and I'll see you back here next Tuesday.